it was that librarian explicitly recommended that to you, right?
So basically, some librarian left Tilavru on like the children's section, and me being like the 4th grader I am, I watched it, and that was my introduction to anime.
It was either Attack on Titan or AYOOO.
No, you don't. Don't do it.
So then I screamed out like, yeah, but mine is bigger than yours. And then behind me, the fucking PE teacher just walks by and gives me like the weirdest look ever.
I was actually doing this or something like that, and I was just like kind of like playing around with my fingers, and the teacher was just looking at me, and like my friends are like just looking at me funny. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm stretching my fingers." And then like after class, they'd be like, "Did you know that you were like kind of making a Naruto sign in front of your teacher, right?" And I was like, "No way!"
What I think my ant killed.
My KDA for like killing ants is pretty good.
I feel like I've only killed like 5% of an ant colony, of an average ant colony.
Only 5?
Yeah. I mean, like, do you know how many ants there are in an ant colony?
There's probably a lot, but like, haven't you ever tried flooding an anthill?
Oh, no, I've not.
I think you should try.
The most I've done with an anthill is like block the entrance, and then it just be opened up again 5 minutes later.
No, you should try flooding one. It's like, trust me, dude. When you like get that hose and you flood it, a wave of dead ants come out. It's like the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
I've never seen like a massive anthill though. It's only like tiny cracks in the floor or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, even cracks. Like if you just flood the crack, you still see crack.
You know what? I had a cousin teach me to melt like tar and then block the entrance.
Oh yeah.
But then like the next day it'd be broken. So those ants were like made out of something.
We'll get concrete or something.
They made different, bro.
I think you're gonna need like concrete. Just get like some
quick
cement.
Quick dry cement.
Yeah, quick dry cement.
You ever burn ants?
Burn ants?
With a magnifying glass?
Yeah.
No, I've never burnt an ant before. I think I tried in primary. But you don't get the magnifying glass. You just try doing that, but like, it doesn't work. Have you ever eaten an ant?
They do not taste great.
They don't
smell great either.
You know,
because it's acidic, right?
Yeah, they are pretty acidic. I had this strange memory. Like when I was in grade 1 or something.
Yeah.
I was on the floor. It was like snack time. And there were like ants were eating these cookies or like these crackers on the floor. For some reason, I thought to myself, they must be pretty good, huh? You know, maybe I'll give these crackers a try.
Wait, so you just grabbed the cracker off the ground and ate it?
I did. There was like a bit of dust on it, some ants on it. I was like, ooh, let me just munch on it. It's pretty spicy. I remember that. I had this, it was the weirdest thing. It was like, oh, this cracker's a bit plain. Let me just pick up an ant.
No, that's,
Yeah, I was a sick kid when I was younger.
Premium.
That's probably why it was spicy, because you were eating ants as well.
Yeah. So that's a really strange memory I have.
No, but going back to burning ants, I know people tell you not to do it, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to hell if you burn ants with a magnifying glass." But it's like so, it's like it's fucked up to say, but it's quite satisfying.
Is it?
Because like, it's not like a burning thing or anything. You just like hover over it, and then they just stop.
Like they don't move anymore.
Yeah.
Well, when was the last time you burnt an ant?
It was probably when I was like 7.
7?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should like rekindle your old memories and like try burning some ants.
Maybe they do.
Well, like, it's satisfying, right? Maybe it's got like therapeutic value. Like maybe
ending the life of a tiny creature.
Yeah,
is therapeutic.
Therapeutic. No, I mean like, haven't you ever heard of like recounts from serial killers? But they're like, oh, inflicting pain on another person is like therapeutic. Now, obviously, we can't inflict pain on another human being, right? So like, the next best thing's an ant. So I'm just saying,
I mean, we can inflict pain on another human being.
You get jail time,
it's
probably.
Just looked down upon.
It's looked down upon. I think it's more than looked down upon.
Unless it's consensual, you know.
And demonized. Consensual.
Inflicting pain, not like ending another one's life.
Well, inflicting pain can result in ending another one's life.
That's too philosophical for me.
Too philosophical? What is a life?
Hey guys, welcome back to Degen Diplomacy. I'm Degen number 1.
I'm Degen number 2, and yeah. Oh, let's talk about anime. So like, it's a horrible segue.
So what are we doing today, fellas?
So you have some prompts today.
I do have some prompts.
Some things we'll talk about.
We'll be talking about anime today.
Yes.
We have been for the past. Actually, we didn't for one episode, the music episode.
And Japan episode was anime still.
Basically.
So today's is some more anime.
Look, we did an episode where we reviewed each other's anime list, correct?
Yeah, we did do that. I was actually thinking of like getting our annual list out and actually just scoring them because we didn't do it last time. It was sort of just scroll through the list and like, oh yeah, you talk about this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I like this, I like that. Yeah, that episode never saw the light of day.
Yeah, it was awful.
So this is like something that would help shed light on our list. So I've got like 17 prompts here. An example of a prompt would be something like your first introduction to anime or a series you fully watched.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll just go into depth about, prompts like that. That's basically how it will go.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, so what was your first introduction to anime? I know Degen number 2, you've talked a lot about To Love Ru. We basically know the in-depth explanation of how you got into To Love Ru.
Yeah.
Was it Sunshine Library? Should I be name dropping that library?
I don't think it matters. Like, I don't live near close to Sunshine, so it's fine. Actually, I feel like it was Footscray. No, it was Sunshine.
Sunshine Library. Yeah.
So, good thing it is closed now. So, well,
it's not closed.
They opened up again, but like the old one closed down, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was gone for like a few years, but anyways. I can give a quick summary. So basically, some librarian left To Love Ru on like the children's section, and me being like the 4th grader I am, or 3rd grader, I don't remember when, was like, oh look, more cartoons. So I picked it up, I watched it, and that was my introduction to anime.
Well, it wasn't like you picked it up. It was that librarian explicitly recommended that to you, right?
Yeah, of course. They like nudged me on like the shoulder and was like, hey, little dude, I got you some good cartoons here.
Do you think that they were actually oblivious, or were they actually had something underlying? Now that I think more closely about this might have...
Is there like a library conspiracy?
Not
or
a library conspiracy, but more like a more serious topic that you shouldn't, like, looking at from a standpoint, an outsider standpoint. It's like, hey, that's a little weird.
A little weird? So you saying librarians are like a little messed up in the head?
No, I'm saying that particular librarian.
Oh, that particular one.
You know...
Well, okay, maybe I feel like they were just oblivious.
Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
it was a social experiment.
Social experiment. Yeah, I was the test subject.
Yeah, see how you grow up.
Is this still being conducted right now?
I don't know, man. But like, I've been getting those like stares lately.
All right, no, I want to hear Degen number 3. What was your first anime?
I don't remember if it was either Attack on Titan or AYOOO.
Okay, so I know both of you had pretty like tame starts. So like, let's say, I mean, Attack on Titan, right? Do you remember your experience watching Attack on Titan the first time?
Yeah, it was something else, bro.
It was something else.
It was like nothing
you've ever seen in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching like Cartoon Network and I'm like, whoa!
Well, one moment you're watching Tom and Jerry or something, the next moment
like
watching...
the most violent thing he's seen was like Adventure Time, and then all of a sudden you've got like this gory ass anime.
You just watch someone's mom get like eaten. So, wow.
Yeah.
In terms of tameness, would you say Attack on Titan is pretty tame?
Okay, so like,
I mean, nowadays, I guess.
If you're talking about like degeneracy, I feel like Attack on Titans, you wouldn't consider it degenerate because like gore or action stuff like that is pretty like normalized, right? You've seen like action movies, stuff like that.
Your start is definitely not tame.
Yeah, I feel like it's being more accepted. Would you say?
I wouldn't recommend a show in that genre to someone who's never watched anime before.
I mean,
but like in the scheme of things, I guess. So I haven't watched this, so I can't really tell. But
okay, maybe I should introduce you sometime.
No.
Well, but I remember hearing stories like back in the day, anime was like just synonymous with hentai, stuff like that, like degenerate stuff. So okay, maybe my thing isn't very normalized now that I think about it, but you know, the anime as a medium is just more accepted. The action stuff is looked favorably. Actually, why is that? Why is like someone's hair getting blown off more acceptable than boobs? Okay, this is probably too deep for us to discuss.
No, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I mean, like, what is it? That's just the general consensus of like mainstream these days, right? Because okay, maybe this is a little too out of my league to talk about. Point is, I think people were raised. It might have just been like action was shown first, and then the other thing came later, and then they're like, you're not allowed to show this because this thing has been set in place, and then that's just how it went, perhaps. Or maybe it's also like, we don't want children seeing... That's a good question, actually. Why is violence okay with children, but
Is it watch Power Rangers?
Power Rangers. I guess you are introduced to action
Also,
closer.
if I was a child, I'd rather watch action than boobs, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't think they're
Actually.
interested yet.
Yeah, well, I guess you don't hit when you hit puberty is when like it really enters your mind. Yeah, actually, I think it is just a thing where like you watch cartoons and there's fighting and stuff like that, and like the next step from like a bad guy getting knocked out is having their head blown off, right?
Yeah.
But like with something like boobs and like that kind of stuff, it's like girl, you know. So it's like okay, you go from girl to boobs, which sounds tame. This sounds fine, but I guess it's like.
Are you saying that like the shift from action to action is like
it's less,
less?
I feel like it's less dramatic because like Power Rangers, they'll punch the bad guy or something, right? I haven't watched Power Rangers, by the way. I'm just assuming, but like they punch the dude and the dude just gets knocked out or something, and then it moves on to like punch a dude and they die, right? But like with something like that kind of betrayal, right? It's like okay, it's just a girl, right? But you wouldn't in a kid show, you wouldn't see the girl doing like any suggestive poses or anything like that, or like having their cleave. I feel like that's happening more often now, though.
What children's shows are you watching? I feel we're not watching any children's shows.
Look. I'm thinking of anime right now, right? Because when I was in Japan, they were airing Onimai on like the television.
I don't think that necessarily means that Onimai was a children's show.
It was PG. I saw PG or something like
PG?
that. I swear I saw PG. And like I've watched like the first few episodes. It's pretty out there, It's
Well, I guess it's normal for them. It's kind of weird.
yeah, it's normal. Okay, maybe it's a cultural thing as well.
Well, going back to what you were saying before, like I can see what you're saying. It's like punch a dude and then they die. That's like a sensible jump because it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, girl into boob, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck happened in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Like you're watching a shitty porno, and then all of a sudden you're like on the bed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it's also a thing where like if you're like at school, right? Let's say you're back in like primary school or something like that, and you told people that. Yeah, I loved like Chainsaw Massacre or something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like that's pretty rad, dude. It's like it's masculine. It's like this is like I like fighting. But if you told like your classmates that you like watching porn or something, I don't think that's viewed as favorably unless like people around you are quite accepting. And it's societal norms.
Society.
Yeah, and the jump thing. I other than that, like I can't think of any other reasoning because obviously we're not experts on this kind of of If you're like
I took psychology, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think someone like a film analyst, because I know that's a job. Because people at uni write like reports on like films and stuff like that, and how films relate to like the time period and how they relate to just society in general. Because I remember back in my first year or something, I had to like write an essay on like genre and how that relates to films and how that relates to society and all that. And honestly, I thought it was like full of crap. But like when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Like films are like a reflection of how we see the world, right? Basically.
I feel like these days, well, smaller films, yeah, but bigger films, money.
Yeah. Well, I just remember like, I mean, bigger films sometimes they do like remakes stuff like that. Or they adapt stuff based on games, but something like I'm reading, I think Godzilla. So like the idea of Godzilla was that it was made after like the bombings, stuff like that. So it was supposed to be like a reflection of Japan's fears about nuclear warfare. It's like, oh, look, you have giant lizard now, right? Something like that. It's radiation. There's a lot more depth to it, but like, I didn't really care, to be honest. And I just wanted to like get my pass for the essay. So yeah, probably should have gave that more thought. I wonder if there are anime related essays. There probably are. But anyways, what are we talking about again? Oh yeah, boobs.
Yep.
Boobs. This is a topic we could probably look into more in the future, but
Boobs?
Boobs. Yes, boobs. So maybe I'll give it some time on my own, and I'll get back to you guys.
No, what we were talking about was like our first animes ever.
Oh yeah, right, our first animes. We were talking about Attack on Titan, right? And this transition to boobs. Oh yeah, right. I was on a tangent because I was like, oh yeah, why are boobs more like less accepted than? Basically, I was defending myself. I was like,
why is Attack on Titan fine, but To Love Ru not fine?
Yeah, To Love Ru is like a master, dude.
One, you were 8 years old. Two, it was a librarian of an adult recommending a child To Love Ru.
Well, to be fair, the box art is pretty tame. It's just the pink-haired girl in like a spacesuit, and
deceiving. It was deceiving.
I mean, all right. So picture this. All right, you're POV. You're a 50-year-old librarian. All right, and you see like pretty colorful, happy art. Like everyone's smiling. There's no cleavage in sight, except maybe the space.
Exactly. It's like there's a little kid a little annoying kid in the kids section, and you just want him out of the way. So you're like, hey, just grab the thing off the shelf and like, hey, kid, you should watch this. It's really good. And then the kid goes away. Job done. It's probably what happened.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, there's no one there. I did that my own volition. But like, well, let's be honest. It was buried between like it was bright pink. That was the box art. And like you have something like Scooby Doo is like, you know, it's like brownish, and then you have like Tom and Jerry. It's kind of like
Scooby Doo and To Love Ru were on the same shelf.
I feel like that's within reason, because there was like there was Ben 10, there was like Dora the Explorer, Go Diego, stuff like that, and like
and then right next to it was like High School DxD or something.
I had this weird memory of High School DxD being there, but like I feel like that's too out there. But I mean, there were other anime there. There was like Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh, and there's like I don't know. I remember. No, it wasn't Infinite Stratos. It was like some. It was like Kiichi, the Last Disciple, or something like that. It was like some fighting anime show, and that was a pretty good one. Thank you, Mr. Librarian or Mrs. Librarian. But yeah, To Love Ru was the one I picked first. You know what? For my introduction to anime, pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, I feel like everybody would say that their first anime was pretty good, right? Because it's the
gateway.
The bias, the first anime bias.
Yeah, I guess so.
If they stuck with anime, the first anime should be good, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, like, I guess both of you start off with like pretty mainstream stuff and like pretty popular things, so like you have experience with a bad show. But I'm just picturing like, what if I had started with okay, give me a bad show.
High School DxD.
That's a good show.
True.
Okay, maybe if I started with High School DxD, like when I was watching To Love Ru, I watched on the television in the living room. My parents were like kind of fine with it, but if I started with like High School DxD, I would get a grilling, and that would probably traumatize me from anime. So maybe it's for the best that I didn't start with something like that. But I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really care about like the production quality, right, and the writing. It's just the ideas that they present.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, what ideas did To Love Ru present?
Well, the idea that like a space girl can like appear to you in the shower and like you can have well, you get what I'm saying. But like as a kid, you don't the production quality just isn't a factor, because I'm going back to like when I watched Darling the Franks. Now, I was like grade 9 or something, and that space scene, I didn't hate it at all, because it was like, I don't know what it is. It wasn't the jump, but it was the idea that there were aliens from space, and I hadn't watched a lot of things with aliens from space, so like I just didn't mind. But that's just when you're young, you don't care.
I feel like once you get to that age, you're like
you start caring. But like, did you pay attention to like stuff like narrative a lot or anything like that?
I did. That's why I didn't enjoy Darling in the Franks.
Okay, I didn't. I was just like, oh, there's aliens there. That's cool. Let's just go with that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of another example as a kid that I just like a show that I would like as a kid because of its ideas, but like it was horrible, but I wouldn't enjoy now.
That could be another prompt that we could talk about.
Yeah, we can get into that later if you want. Or maybe if you come up with something later, but like nothing's coming to mind at the current moment.
Right, back to what was it again? The first animes that we ever had.
Yeah.
I said it was Sword Art Online. I'm starting to question that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was either Sword Art Online or Macaque City Actors. It probably was Sword Art Online, but yeah.
Actually, how did you find out about Sword Art?
So I had, during that time, my parents had bought a smart TV.
Yeah.
And back then it was like a big deal sort of thing, right? Because like, holy shit, you could watch YouTube on your TV.
Oh yeah, I was pretty blown away by that.
And for some reason, my TV had the Crunchyroll app installed. So I was like, Crunchyroll, what's
Crunchyroll was a thing back then?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought Crunchyroll like came into existence like 2016 or something.
I have no idea when it was, but like it was definitely there when like I was 12 or something. So yeah, put it up, got in the app, saw Sword Art Online episode 1, like yeah, sure, why not? This character looks cool.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it wasn't Kirito. It was his game avatar, all right?
Is that basically just Kirito?
No, the face is a little different.
They're a little different.
The face is a little different, and he's slightly taller, you know?
It's just taller Kirito.
Sorry.
Admit it, you thought Kirito was cool.
Sorry, back then, 12-year-old me kind of had like an eye for this sort of thing, so we could differentiate like slight differences, you know, some people not be...
Yeah.
I probably did find Kirito cool. So yeah, I pressed it, watched it, thought it was amazing, and I was like, yo, anime's great. Oh, and then just went downhill from there.
Oh, was it because like he's got 2 swords and he's like so strong and stuff like that? Was it like kind of that kind of thing?
Probably. I mean, I
Probably.
was easily entertained as a child.
Yeah.
Also, first anime bias, and that
Yeah.
helped it. I do still think that Sword Art season 1, the first half at least, was pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people trash on Sword Art because like everyone else hates it, but like it's not terrible. It's
Yeah, it deserves to be trashed, but like the first half season 1's pretty good.
yeah. I mean, like compare it to an isekai you would see nowadays, right? Like, come on
Don't even
now.
talk about it. Don't even talk about isekais these days. You're like comparing a Marvel film with like a B film, some shit like that.
Well, which one's the Marvel in this case?
Sword
Sword
Art
Art
Online,
Online.
obviously, and then isekai is like C grade films.
Okay, but like their entertainment value is kind of on the same level. It's just one's just better made usually.
Who knows? That's up to
That's up to the viewer.
subjectivity.
But
Who fucking knows?
yeah, but what I'm just trying to say is that Sword Art's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't deserve that much hate, but like it does deserve some.
Well, I don't know. Everything past the first half of season 1 deserves hate.
No, you didn't like the the elf arc.
Elf arc sucked doo doo.
Elf
I
arc.
should have just ended once he saved. I mean, the ending. Okay, now that I think about it, movie Sword Art Online wasn't that great, but it wasn't bad. Alright, okay, so let's move on to our next prompt. It is the first ecchi anime you've ever watched.
Okay, well, my response is it is the first anime I've watched. My first anime was an ecchi. So should
Alright, what about after that then?
after that, let me think. A show that comes to mind is what was that generic harem? I think it's just Infinite Stratos, that mech show. But like, is that ecchi? I guess it's ecchi. Ecchi is like there's boobs, right? Just more boobs.
Yeah, I mean, the most I've seen out of Infinite Stratos is about 10 seconds from the opening.
Oh really?
And the mech suits, where like you're wearing a weird ass jumpsuit and like your whole body's exposed.
I actually don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't
Is that
remember.
not Infinite Stratos? Am I thinking of something else?
Can look it up. It might be because I just don't remember though. I just remember like the concept of Infinite Stratos was that I think only girls could pilot the mech, but the dude's like different and he can pilot a mech. Like, I don't remember why. He was just there's some reason about it. He's a nice guy and they like him. And you know, they get into funny situations together. You know, the typical like harem ecchi kind of spiel.
Well, then it has to be based. No, then it has to be like, yeah, it is that show with the horrible mech design.
It probably was horrible. I was just like, whoa, dude, a bunch of girls like one dude. That's amazing. Little kid me was like, wow, that's great.
Where does that stand on your like watched anime order? So like your seventh, yeah,
The Stratos.
yeah.
I feel like it was probably like my fifth one or something.
Well, not that far then.
So it is fairly close. It was like I still love Rue, and then it was kind of a blur for a while. I think Sword Art might have been like a third one even. It's pretty close because I didn't really know how to use the internet. You know, it was like my brother who like looked up all these shows. And is it this show?
Probably. I don't see the mech designs, and I
No.
can't tell.
Or the mech?
Infinite Stratos. You know what? At first, I didn't know that it was an ecchi show, but now that I think about it, it makes sense.
It probably is an ecchi show. I couldn't really tell you. I hadn't watched it in like a decade or something, or more than a decade.
Degen number 3. What about you?
Well, the only ecchi anime I can remember watching is like High School DxD. Like, yeah.
Prison School?
That was later on, like,
Oh, later on.
Yeah.
So high school.
That
So
does
like,
make sense though.
would High School DxD be like a early on, really early on, or like we're talking a lot later?
yeah, there was a lot of talk about it. So I was like, you know,
You
why
give it a
not
shot, you know?
yeah.
So, super popular. So you went from, so you were like upon a 10, you were like, oh, it's Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, and you watch all the action shows first.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I feel like you started. I feel like you started watching anime around the time High School DxD just came out, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, which is probably why it was like talked so much.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was airing at the moment.
Yeah, I remember watching it airing.
When did High School DxD air? High School DxD
I want
air.
to say like 10 years ago,
Aired.
9 maybe.
Because I remember watching it when like one season had come out or something, or 2 seasons had come out. So I watched it like a good bit afterwards. It was 6th of January 2012, apparently. So
It's like 9
2012.
years ago.
Yeah, quite a while ago. Yeah, I started watching it like a lot after it aired, watching other stuff.
Yeah. But this guy, he like does not watch ecchi shows at all.
I mean, ecchi has like a focus, more like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like all of us don't really watch ecchi shows nowadays.
That's a good point.
So I think. I mean, did you ever get a point where you were into ecchi? I never got into it. I just didn't care really.
I just watched hentai.
Did you just watch hentai?
I feel like it was everywhere anyway. Like any show you watched, it was just kind of there.
Yeah, it was always
no matter
there.
what.
I feel like a lot of early shows had a lot of ecchi, and now they kind of like tamed it and they just lumped it in with isekai.
Did they really tame it?
Well, okay, I don't remember many old shows, but
I think it might be worse,
worse.
but not by much.
Oh, they tamed it. They just like. I feel like a lot of shows you watch just tend to have it. You know, like you watch a lot of isekais,
I do watch a lot of isekai.
and they tend to have ecchi in it.
Yeah,
But it's not a focus though. But like, there's like a lot of old shows. I always feel like they always have like a bit of that in there as well. But like nowadays, if you watch an action show, you're not gonna get that. So like, you're watching Revenge.
I mean, like what an action show back then, like Naruto.
Naruto,
I mean,
I'm sure.
Naruto like
100%
had,
Naruto, bro.
Yeah,
Naruto was
had
like
a-
how many episodes did Naruto have?
600.
Had to keep like the audience engaged, right? Compared to like
Because they're kids.
So they
compared
did
to
it.
like a show that had like 24 episodes or 12 episodes back then,
Mm.
right? Because Tokyo Ghoul didn't really have any.
Tokyo Ghoul was kind of like after 2010, right?
I mean, the first episode, you saw the melons.
Did you see that?
Yeah, she was leaning over.
Kinda.
The whole
The
view, bro.
the monster girl, right?
Yeah. She was leaning over, and he could see everything, and he was just like,
Okay, that was like one of your first shows, right? Maybe that was like,
I'm like, oh my god.
oh wow, is that the first anime boob you ever seen?
Yeah, probably.
Wait, even before High School DxD?
How's your DSD? Was like afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty early, though.
Dang. Oh, what was my first one? I think my one was like, have you guys heard Testament of a Sister Devil or whatever?
The one with the spiky head dude.
I think so.
I think that's he has like the ability to cancel out powers with his hand or something.
What was it? I thought he had like an arm gauntlet and a sword or some shit. Let me see.
When you say arm gauntlet, I think of High School DxD.
Oh, that might be High School DxD I'm thinking of, but I did not watch High School DxD.
Yeah, really?
You should.
You should.
Should I?
It's a classic.
It's lit.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll keep it in the back of my mind.
High School DxD. High School DxD is like a fever dream.
Yeah, actually.
I remember watching it. I watched the first season twice. My brothers played it twice on the TV, and like the only thing I remember is that I remember this one shower scene where like the nipples were out, and like little me was like, "Oh, this is too much." It was like they kept showing nipples, and I was like, "I'm bored. When are they gonna fight?"
Yeah.
That's kind of all I remember really. Also, I remember the nun got like naked a lot. I don't know why. It was like, "Oh, if I'm naked, I can heal you faster" or something. But anyways, it's anime.
I remember that.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know. That's all I remember from High School DxD. And then I think I got to like 2 seasons somehow. But yeah, that show didn't stand out too much to me. But you should watch it though. It's good.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching it.
No?
Yeah, my first anime was The Testament of Sister New Devil. I have no idea why I watched this though.
Want to show me a picture?
This
Oh, I didn't watch it because it looked generic. I saw it like way after I'd watched a bunch of these kind of shows.
I have no idea why I watched it.
I mean, he kind of had like Yu-Gi-Oh hair away.
I feel like I might have clicked on it by accident and just watched it. Because like a thing that I think I did a lot when I first started watching anime was like I had no idea that an anime could have multiple seasons and had an order to watch it in.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I watched like a lot of Fairy Tail out of order.
Yeah, I mean that's mainly due to like when you watch cartoons back in the day, you have to watch whatever episodes on TV, right? So you're just used to like not seeing things in order.
Exactly.
So did you watch that out of order, or like you watched that in order?
I couldn't tell you. I think what happened was like I watched season 1 and then I somehow started watching season 2.
Mm-hmm.
After like watching 2 episodes of season 1 or something. Couldn't tell you what happened. All I remember is like
Any boobs? It's an ecchi show.
all I remember was like there was a girl in the restroom. She was changing, and the dude walks in on her. And that's all I really remember from that show.
I mean, that's all you really need to know, really, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the tags right now. It's 93% nudity. So like,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Damn.
So how was it? Your first experience to
how was
ecchi?
it? Couldn't tell you anything about it. I think I couldn't even finish that episode because I was bored.
No,
Out
I
of
bet you
my
had like
mind.
post-nut clarity or something.
Oh yeah.
You just clicked off. How old were you?
This was like near the beginning of my Sting, so probably 11.
11 years old. It's no Tillaru, but I respect it.
All right. Next one. What was the most disappointing anime you've watched? You came in with high hopes, or only for it to like completely drop the ball?
Oh,
See, the obvious answer here is Darling the Franks.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what I
try and
thought.
find something else.
I wrote down some examples.
I never really.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really watched disappointing animes. Every single one's a
Yeah,
banger,
true,
right?
true.
I was gonna say like I didn't really care about Darling in the Franks like ever.
You didn't? You didn't like 02 anything?
Yeah, it was cool, but like you know,
Cool, but
it
you
wasn't like that good of a show to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first saw like the art for it, like way before it came out. I did have high hopes for it.
Oh,
It
yeah,
did
the
seem
art
like
was
it would be. Yeah, it was like I remember. I think when they first showed 02, she was like gray and stuff like that. Well, like it didn't even look like a waifu. It just looked like a ghost girl or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this might be pretty cool, dude. It might be like a thing where like a little boy learns to form a relationship with like an old ghost or something. But yeah, they took the waifu route, which is fine, I guess. But you know, could have been cool, interesting. I actually wrote Milf Isekai. What was the name for it again?
Do you love your mum and her multi-hit
Yeah, do you
attacks?
love your mum and a multi-hit combo? I thought the idea was it could have been funny, you know? Like if they went down the route of like, you know, the mom's like strong and she just scolds like the bad guys and like that and be like, there's a few ha-has. But they went down like the incest route and like the harem route. And like you've seen those like everywhere. That's like all isekais. But I just thought maybe like having a mum that would be kind of funny. So that's all I got to say about that, really. Yeah, I just thought we could have a mum around.
You just didn't. I mean, I feel like it would have went down that route anyway because of the title.
But no,
Yeah,
was
they gotta keep the audience engaged somehow.
like they just made a lot of people click off.
They know their audience and they struck gold.
It's not good.
Well, see, the problem is like most shows I'm disappointed in, I just forget about.
Yeah, that's the issue I
You
had.
recorded it, right? Like you put it down on the list, right? So it'd probably be in like a dropped or low rating.
I don't rate a lot of things. I should get to it, but like
You know what I found super disappointing? I found the spin-off for Madoka really disappointing.
Oh, that one. The pink-haired girl had like a bow or something, right?
Yeah, she had like a little what was it? Wrist crossbow.
Yeah, like the Assassin's Creed thing.
Yeah.
I
I came into it so excited because I'm like, holy shit, they're making a new Madoka series. Hopefully it'll be good. Turns out, look, it's pretty. It has like some fucking banger ass fight scenes. So like, I just didn't care about the plot at all.
yeah, I mean, I watched like one episode, and I was like, yeah, I'll keep watching because like Madoka's usually quite good, but it didn't keep me compelled at all. I mean, what even was the plot?
What was the plot? There's this city where magical girls don't necessarily turn into witches forever.
Mm-hmm.
They can like release their stress and then assume a temporary form
Mm-hmm.
and then go back to being magical girls, but apparently that's a bad thing. So then they have to stop it. I don't know, some weird stuff like that.
Right, so they release the stress, they become like a monster or something.
They become a monster for a bit, they fight witches, and then they become normal again.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like an interesting concept. But
Yeah, because
maybe-
it's like literally saving them from becoming a witch forever.
Mm.
But then it was bad somehow. I might be like completely missing the plot. I might be completely wrong, but like still didn't care about the plot.
It just wasn't very interesting.
It just wasn't like it was like overshadowed by the first season. The first season just did it too well.
Yeah, I mean, no one talks about this one, really.
Yeah.
It's even rated.
And I think it's like what was it? It was an adaptation of a mobile game.
Oh, the mobile game.
Mobile game story, so
But it's like 64 on Annualized, which is not very good.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
Teacher number 3 still struggling to find something.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I wrote Plunderers. Do you guys remember the show?
I remember hating the show.
Yeah, I thought the idea was interesting. It was like, what was the idea again? It was like you have like a number and like
Yeah, you have a number on you, and that determines how strong you are.
yeah. So like you're like 366 baker or something. You're a good baker. I thought it was really cool. I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. And then they had like a dude with like nothing or something or
Yeah,
zero.
he had like 0.
Zero, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I just got bored of it after the second episode. I don't know why. Like the
Because it
concept
was like
is
super etchy. The dude was like a total perv.
oh, was it really etchy? Maybe that's why.
Like helpless damsel. Just wasn't good.
Yeah, but it had a cool idea. and wish they'd done more of that.
You can change it. You have
You
the power to change it.
Yeah.
Just take take that idea, but make it better.
Yeah. Write my own fan fiction, or like just steal the idea.
Steal the idea.
Just take the idea.
Whole new world. I don't know the general consensus of. I feel like it was a classic, wasn't it?
A classic. I don't know if that's a classic. No one talks about it. No one I know talks about it.
It looked old. I don't know. So
It looks pretty old, but like it aired like in 2019, 18, like 19, which is not that old.
Thoughts on A Kami Ga Kill?
Oh, Coming Out Kill. Okay, I know a lot of people online. I know people hate it, and a lot of people like it. Okay, have you guys watched it?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
All right, so I kind of liked it for some reason. I don't know why. Like, A Coming Out Kill. It was like you had this like a terrorist organization or something like that that's fighting for justice. I think I don't really remember.
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
that's right. It's like a government who's corrupt, and then there's a band of people who are fighting against the code.
Yeah, there was a thing where like a character would die like basically every episode, essentially, and then they would introduce like new characters, and then they would die, and it was a thing where you didn't know which characters would die, and I kind of dug that because I was so used to just shows not killing anyone off at all. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe like this character will die, and maybe this one will die. But like after a while, it did kind of become predictable who would die if they focused too much on it. But did you find it disappointing at all?
I didn't mind like the dying part, but like I didn't like the ending.
Why? Why didn't you like the ending?
It felt like it was all for nothing because everyone you knew was dead. Like, what's the point of watching the show?
Yeah.
But
Like-
the Kami's alive.
Okay, well, like everyone, all our friends are dead, bro. Like,
Yeah, everyone's just sort of dead.
it was too real for me, bro. I'm like a young kid. I'm filled with hope. Like, yeah, let's save the world. Everyone's dead. Oh,
It's just like real life.
this is real
This
life.
was his reality
Bro, yeah.
check.
I'm watching anime to escape reality, bro. Not to like, bro. Oh my god, that was so yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty depressing. I mean, did they even accomplish anything in the end?
They did. They
Yeah,
through
they-
the government.
They were through
Yeah.
the government, right? So
Everyone's
They-
dead.
They
Is
changed
that-
the world.
just everyone died
They
though.
did it.
Everyone's
I
dead at
enjoyed
what
it
cost, bro?
coming.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I think I remember. I think in the manga or something, the dude didn't die. Like he's actually still alive or something. I believe, but yeah, I was fine with everything, and I thought the whole I think the ice girl got beaten or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna blow up with the dude." I was like, "That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool." Well, when I was a kid, I was like, "Damn."
You know, I enjoyed a Kamiga kill up to the point where they killed Chelsea. And
Chelsea,
then-
oh
and
shoot,
then- and then,
she was only in for like 2 episodes, right?
not 2 episodes. She wasn't she wasn't a starting character. She was
Yeah.
introduced. But I feel like it wasn't 2 episodes. I feel it was a bit more.
It was probably more. I don't know. I think a lot of people at the time liked Chelsea. She was like the sassy girl or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. But then the next thing, like, you don't even really see her die. You sort of just like, there's a scene where they're like investigating, and then you see her head in a pole or something like that. So it's like, okay, well, that's just not like it's not very cool. I guess the shock factor. I guess. Yeah, I didn't like that either.
No, I just didn't like that they killed her off.
I
I
just
can't believe this.
is she your favorite?
Yeah.
Was she the crazy policewoman?
No. Isn't the crazy policewoman the one with the bear plush or whatever?
Yeah.
Nah, not
Chelsea?
her.
She's the orange haired girl.
She was the one that could disguise herself, I think.
It's like some spy or something.
I do not remember it, to be honest.
I'll show you a picture of her head.
Okay.
I'll show you. Yeah, the picture of her on the spike, and everybody was like, "Haha, she's usually eating a lollipop, and then she turns into a
Oh
lollipop."
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh yeah.
Her head's just on a pole. I was like, oh, that's messed up, man. Yeah, I kind of got kill. I think a lot of people give it trash because it's like, the show kind of depends a lot on shock factor to stay interesting. It's sort of a thing where it's like, oh, okay, look, this character you like died. Like, haha, please keep watching. The story itself was alright. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Do you remember the most hype scene you've ever seen?
Hype scene I've ever seen.
Yo.
I'm gonna have to like look through my anime list real quick. I do have one scene in mind though. It's from Mob Psycho. Do you guys have something right now, or are you looking through as well?
I have one that I can think of. I want to see if I can find another one. Oh, okay. Well, of course, Bocce the Rock.
Ah, yeah, I mean, episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah,
that
we
is-
don't have to talk
that's
about
pretty
that.
hype.
That's-
We've talked about Bocce the Rock enough. I mean, I can't talk about Mob Psycho, the first season. 'Cause I remember there was a... You know that scene when, like, they first introduced the adult espers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like there's like a big fight and all that, and he's like, you shouldn't use your powers for bad and stuff like that. And then you have like the adult beating everyone up. I know. I thought it was like so cool at the time. The like mob breaks his principles and he just beats up the adult.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, kid power, let's go. Yeah, let's do it. And yeah, I don't know. When you talk about like hype scenes, nothing's really coming to mind because I don't watch anime for hype.
I mean, like what? Attack on Titan final season part 2, the opening when Eren screams. That was pretty hype.
I didn't watch it. I watched the manga.
Nah,
I went ahead. So like, yeah.
No, it's the opening for the.
The opening's
for the
hype.
anime.
Oh, it's one of the openings.
Yeah, the opening's hot. No, I'm not talking about openings. Just no, but that scene was pretty hype. What else is there?
Hype. I mean, what type do you guys? What kind of things do you guys look for?
Anything that gives me goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
When the final race in Uma Musume season 2. That was pretty fucking hype.
That was pretty hype. I mean, you told me you cried.
I did cry.
You cried. Wait, was McQueen the final race? I don't think she was.
I don't want to spoil it, but McQueen was not in the final race.
Okay, yeah, she wasn't. Okay, maybe that's why I wasn't as upset. But I remember I told you like I didn't really care as much.
Yeah.
Because I was
like,
like,
I'm over here like, holy shit, this is so fucking emotional for me. They're like, yeah, it's okay.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
But I was more emotional when like McQueen.
Of course, anything to do with McQueen, man.
Oh my god, McQueen. Ooh. That was pretty hype though. You know, like I might have thought it was mid, but like I do remember, feeling something.
I think that the bocce episode 8.
I mean, I was pretty hyped for that.
The final race. Would I say anything? Okay, I think JoJo Part 5. The 7. The long ass punching barrage, and also his final like stand golden experience for Queen was pretty hype.
Yeah.
With the fucking piano. Yeah, that shit's hype. I think those are all my hype scenes that I can think of. I mean, like fight scenes in Jujutsu Kaisen are cool and all, but I'm not that hyped for it.
Because you're probably not as invested in the characters, right? Jujutsu Kaisen is like, I think they designed every character to sort of just be that. Just the shonen characters, really. Like, they're likable in a sense, but I don't remember them very well.
How could you not remember Itadori Yuji, the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen?
I know what he looks like, but
how can you not remember Panda?
Who?
He's literally a panda.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Jujutsu Kaisen didn't stand out too much to me. It was sort of just that cool action show. But I guess Jujutsu Kaisen is one of those things where like when you're watching it, like you're kind of into it, but like when you stop watching it, you just forget about it. That's how it was for me, really. It doesn't really leave an impression.
You're making Jujutsu Kaisen fans cry right now.
I mean, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I had a shonen phase. I'm not really into it anymore. I'm more into like hahas now. Hype scenes are kind of like, I'm sure if I was a kid, I'd name like a bunch of cool fight scenes in like popular shows or something.
Yeah, that Bionicles fight was pretty intense, wasn't it?
Bionicle.
Ninjago? Holy shit.
I remember like nothing from those shows. I used to love them so much now. Oh, actually, the Levi fight. You know the fight when Erwin gets like hammered?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like Levi's like coming around the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. He's like slashing those titans, and he's like, when he finally gets to the beast titan, he just cuts him open. That's pretty hype.
I feel like part 3 was a blur for me. I can't remember anything much happening.
It was when obviously when Erwin, a spoiler alert by the way, we're gonna talk about a lot of spoilers in fact. Erwin dies, and like you have Armin take the titan thing.
Was that season 3 part 2?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
because so
I don't think I watched part 2.
Wait, you just skipped it?
Well, because I was reading the manga and I already like read way past it, so I guess I didn't watch it.
That was probably like one of my favorite bits. Also, there was the fight between like Levi's mentor or something.
Yeah, Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. And Levi. And I thought the animation was really sick. It was really cool to watch Levi swing around. That's pretty hype.
Yeah, too bad.
Wasn't that the first time that they introduced guns?
Yeah, I think it was probably.
That was pretty hype, honestly.
Yeah, that was
the guns
super
and
hype.
stuff.
And like you never knew who was gonna live or die. It's cool. Cool fight scene. Yeah, this is a topic that like would have benefited a lot from research. Like a lot.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
Too bad, so sad. We don't do that stuff.
Yeah. Yo, to love Rue, well, when Devil Luke appeared in Rito's shower, that was the hypest scene in the show.
Lit.
Loved it. I was like, yes, get him. But yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not an action junkie, or not as much as I used to be.
Fusion 3 hasn't inputted anything yet. Come on, surely like the first time you saw a gel banana, that was like fucking mind blowing.
Yeah,
That's pretty
so
hype, dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Yo, it turned green. Damn.
Yeah, I guess again. Also the Science Gate Zero scene.
Zero scene. Oh, like the when time travel.
Yeah, when he finally does the thing.
No, like I've not watched Steins Gate Zero, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, there's spoilers here,
it's
bro.
spoilers, and it doesn't sound hype to me at all.
Well,
he did the thing.
Spoil, bro.
He did the thing. Holy shit,
finally
that was
did it,
hype.
bro. He finally did it.
He finally did it.
Crazy orchestra.
All right, I'm going to spoil what I think happens.
Yeah.
He finally managed just to time travel back to a time where Kurisu is still alive.
That was actually pretty hype. I cried.
Well, that's the outcome, but that's not what he did. The scene was lit.
He fucking stuffed himself into the microwave, and he just became the jelly man, but then somehow he managed to reconstruct himself in a good timeline.
No, that was a lit scene, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty hype, man.
But yeah.
Steins Gate, I don't remember it for the hype. I remember it more for like the emotional aspect.
The emotionally crushing aspect of Steins Gate Zero.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice seeing him go from mad scientist to sad scientist, because he was it was kind of annoying to me when he was like really hyperactive.
Damn, bro.
I mean, kind of, not really, but like, he's cool. But yeah, just seeing him like not be hyperactive and like just focus on more pressing goal. Well, okay, I haven't watched in ages, I can't say. But I enjoyed Zero. I think I enjoyed Zero more than I enjoyed the original.
I like the original, but Zero is still good. I like that scene.
Very nice.
It added a lot more. Oh yes. Well, there's a scene in Bungo Stray Dogs 2. Yeah, this guy is literally beating a guy who can predict the future. That was sick.
Pretty sick. People getting beaten up.
Yeah, in a gunfight, he's just doing crazy stuff. Yep. All right, next.
You mean next prompt or next hype scene?
Emiya versus Gilgamesh. That was lit.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Full on. I think he chops off Gilgamesh's hand, right?
Yeah.
His arm. That was pretty sick.
Oh, actually, Unlimited Blade Works. That fucking scene where he goes, "It's Unlimited Blade Works time." That shit was fucking. Holy
I love
fuck.
that. Wait, did he actually say that? I wouldn't be surprised if he
I
did.
mean, he says Unlimited Blade
He
Works.
says Unlimited Blade Works, but
it's close enough. Yeah, that was pretty lit.
I mean, he says a lot of stupid things. It was the just because you're right doesn't mean you're correct.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
that's in the scene too. Just because you're
right
doesn't mean
before
correct.
he cuts off Gilgamesh's hand.
That's even more jiggy chat, bro.
Says the stupidest shit ever, and then cuts the dude's heads off.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was like, I mean, it's just a human. It's a normal dude. And he cuts off like the fun. What's Gilgamesh's title? Fun King of something.
King of Kings.
King of Kings or something like that. So I was like, oh dude, that's so hype. Close the gap. And then
Yeah, that's all I got.
Fair enough. We'll go on to the next one. Animes that had you tearing up or crying.
Planet. Oh, actually,
Clanad. Okay.
I mean, we could go through all these like mainstream sad ones, like Your Lie in April, Clanad.
I don't think I've ever cried to an anime though. But like only watery eyed.
Okay, so like obscure shows that you've maybe cried to.
Just not like answers that it's like sad show. Of course, you're gonna cry to it.
Okay. So like,
what's surprising? What
surprisingly made me cry?
Like Uma Musume season 2. Attack on Titan, when Eren's mum died, I think I teared up at 10.
I didn't give a crap. I mean, okay, yeah, this is gonna be hard then. I actually watched The Rock, the episode 8 thing. I kind of teared up. She was like, oh, we're not good enough. So like, I gotta do something. She busted out solo.
Were you like a proud parent?
Yeah, I was actually. I was like, yeah, she's growing up. People like, they know what she's capable of.
Oh fuck! Surely you teared up at To Your Eternity, Degen 3.
Yeah, I did.
God, that show is so fucking gut wrenching.
Oh yeah, I read the manga ages ago. People always like die off, and to be honest, I became numb to it. I just didn't care.
I think it helps if you're watching the anime.
Yeah, I'm sure the anime would have been. Like you get the music and all that and like dialogue, but when I was reading the manga, I was just like, it's dead now. Okay, well, let's move on.
When you say cry, do you actually mean like you need to get a tissue because tears are rolling down your face?
Well, like teary-eyed as well.
Teary-eyed.
Okay.
Any show that's got you teary-eyed. I don't think I've ever like fully blown sobbed at an anime.
Well, like, have you ever fully blown sobbed at like any show in general or like anything you've watched? Period.
No.
No.
I kind of wanted though.
Yeah, me too.
I felt that'd be a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
The most I've ever had was like a tear actually rolling down my face, and that was Uma Musume season 2.
Damn. I need to get on your level, bro.
Like, just imagine someone walking into like the room or something. He's looking at horse girls and he's tearing up.
And my mom walks by, she's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
You like me for real?
Okay, I just talk about a bit about Violet Evergarden. I mean, it's the obvious one, right? It's a sad one, but when I was in the cinemas, I just remember like I was watching with a friend, and whenever a sad bit looked up, like came up, I would look over to him, and he would look over to me, and like we would just be like stone face. But inside, we both told each other we were borderline about to cry when we both looked at each other, but we were just checking if the other dude was crying at all to see if we were allowed to cry. So, because we both didn't want to embarrass ourselves, we didn't cry, but we were both on like the edge.
Oh yeah, right. That does
funny.
remind me, like when I was watching the Violet Evergarden movie. The one where she goes to the island. That one made me tear up with the what was it? The two children writing letters to each other, I think. There was like one child in the hospital and one child that wanted to see the other child, but they were like, I don't want to see each other because I'm
this one. It wasn't the when she was at the island but she couldn't like come over to see him.
That part. That made me tear up.
Oh yeah, that got me as well. And there was a bit, wait, does he actually go on the phone call in the end? I think he does like a phone call.
They did, yeah.
They did the phone call, and I was like, no, don't do this. And then, like, at the very end, the sister's like, when is he gonna wake up? And I was like, no, don't do this.
No.
It was like a double kill, dude. And, like, I was so close to crying, but, like, I looked at my friend, and I was like, no, don't do it. Don't. Oh, man, I don't cry. But I kind of wish I cried. I'm sure it'd be more memorable.
Yeah, you ruined the experience.
Yeah. And Violet Evergarden was an emotional roller coaster. I think they overdid it with the crying bit because I didn't care much about Violet reuniting with the Colonel because I was just so emotionally drained. But
that was a pretty big spoiler that you just dropped.
I mean, this episode's gonna be full of spoilers.
Yeah.
I should probably leave like this disclaimer in the beginning. Is anything embarrassing that I teared up at?
Sumo season 2.
No. I didn't tear up. Okay, I was close to tearing up when McQueen snapped her legs, but yeah, other than that, nah.
Yeah, I think that's basically all. If I really think about it, maybe I've forgotten that like I cried at My Hero or some shit. But, you know.
Well, like the music comes up, like the theme song.
Yeah.
And he's like about to power up.
Yeah.
I don't tear up very often in anime. Like even like Your Lie in April, I didn't care. It was sort of like, oh, she's dead. Nice.
She's dead.
Nice.
Yes. Finally.
Come on, everyone saw it coming. Come on.
I didn't because I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? I don't know. Okay. The first episode I was like, yeah, she's dead.
Alright, we move on to the next one then. Animes that you were surprised you enjoyed.
Okay.
Uma Musume season.
Yeah, Uma Musume was kind of surprising. I wouldn't say I would watch it for like fun, but like...
Of course you would. It's so fucking emotionally wrenching.
It is really emotionally wrenching. And for like a show about horse idols, like I didn't expect that. I surprisingly enjoyed. Okay, so there is a show this season that I did surprisingly enjoy. So I came into Onimai kind of being like, because like, you know, I've watched Prismalia, you know, I've had my lolly phase, but like I'm over that. So I'm watching it, and like one of the first things he decides to do when turning into a lolly is like to jack off, right? So I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Was that the first? I thought they were just checking.
They were checking, but like right afterwards, he's like, I'm gonna enjoy the fruits of this new body, and then he like busts out an eroge. And yeah, he's gonna jack off as a little girl. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. So I'm like, okay, this is really, really, really weird. And then they keep showing like the body. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just not gonna watch this. And then I come into like the studio like a week later or something. I talk to you guys. I'm like, oh, you guys are actually watching Onimai, which is surprising because you guys are like grilling me for like Remo and like Prismalia. So I'm like, okay, well you weren't grilling me at all. You watched Prismalia, but you were grilling me for Prismalia. So I'm like, I'm surprised you watched more episodes than me.
Well, yeah, now it's been swapped around because I haven't watched it like in 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, you should watch it actually. It starts off really funny, it starts off, and then I do feel like it gets better. Because it starts honing in more on like the emotional stuff, and you know the whole Hikimori learning to come out of his shell. From the latest episode, there's still funny business, but I think your brain learns to filter it out after a while. It's not as bad as like the first episode. Or like the third episode with the swimsuit stuff, but it gets a lot better, you know? And it's just really well made, you know?
Yeah, the animation.
The animation's too well made.
If DJ number 4 were here, he'd just like complain about why it's so well made and animated.
Yeah. I feel like the production quality does it a lot of favors.
Yeah.
Also, I really like My Hero. I don't know. He just screams like annoying brat, but like the annoying brat that you want to have like scream in your ear. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, that show, surprisingly, I really like it. I also really like the soundtrack.
What?
The soundtrack for it. Yeah, I've been just playing that every morning. Okay, when I say the soundtrack, you don't think you have like the opening and stuff like that, right?
I am thinking about that because that's the one song you played on my phone.
It's actually it's just a calm piano track.
I'll check it out afterwards.
But it's not the hyperactive kind of thing you might expect. It's good focus music actually. So if anyone thinks Onimai is bit funky, I encourage you to give it a try again.
It's the what's it called, episode 1 shock factor, to keep people in.
It's the episode 1 thing.
Yep.
Look,
at least I hope so. I haven't watched it.
You've read the manga, right?
I have read the
You
manga.
read the manga, so you know what to expect.
Do I? Because like the manga is much more tame than I don't know anymore. I don't know
anymore.
I'm just gonna be
Okay.
quiet. I don't know anymore.
I have read ahead a bit, so it is a lot more tame. But I think the anime adds a lot more, and it's worth like enduring the funny stuff, the funny business opinion. So give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. See what you think. Even like
if I were a librarian and I saw a child in the children's corner, I'd recommend them Onimai.
Yeah, I would slip an Onimai. You could even skip to like episode 4. The first 3 episodes a bit funky. If you're not into the funk, then episode 4 is the way to go. But anyways, that's the show that I surprisingly enjoyed.
Degen 3, you got any?
Bocce.
Bocce.
Surprised you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was just.
I think Bocce was a surprise for both of you. I mean, I came in like knowing that I would like it because you guys talked so much about it.
I don't know. I guess I had no expectations for it, but after watching episode 1, I was really hooked. So I wouldn't say I was surprised to like it because it already interested me. And I thought Kevin knew about Bocce the Rock like before it got an announcement because he planned it, and I'm like, oh, you probably know something about it, but
I just read the synopsis, then I thought it was just gonna be like an average anime,
It sounded average from the description.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, it's this girl named Bocce and she likes The Rock. That's it. That's all there is to it. But,
Bocce's The Rock.
There's more to it. Like, I feel like the production quality really lends favorably here.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Wouldn't go Stray Dogs, but yeah, pretty lit.
I watched the first season. I just don't remember anything.
Oh yeah, first season is kind of average, but it gets better.
It's better? Like hype fight scenes?
Nah, not really. It's not really about the fight scenes.
About,
It's really hard to explain.
so like, is it an emotional show or is it just like...
It's like it's just like a normal society with people with powers in it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know explain
Society, but with powers.
Yeah, and it's
Like the Stray Dogs. I know I see online a lot of people do like the show. It's just, I guess maybe the first season wasn't that compelling.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've seen enough, Not really into it. Maybe then. Maybe we're running out of things to watch.
I was just gonna say Monogatari.
Monogatari.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Monogatari.
When I first started, I had no idea what the buzz was about.
There's a lot of text, really, right? It's a bit weird.
It took me a while to get into it. Maybe like 1 season.
Took you 1 season. Because to me, apologies, but I think Bakemonogatari is kind of a bore.
It kind of is.
I can see.
It is. You can kind of see why it's a bore. I feel like one of the draws is the characters. Really, like I stayed for the characters. I didn't care too much about the story. It's just the way the characters were written, perhaps, and that was kind of compelling to me. It was interesting, but
I don't even know how to explain.
how to explain it really.
It's just Monogatari. It's lit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I watched it because I like Shinobu. She's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of the only reasons why I kept watching.
Do I keep watching to find out why it's grailed as such a good show?
It's hard to explain, really.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it to find out, but
Yeah.
am I bothered? I've got like 4 episodes left for Bakemonogatari.
You got like 4 more seasons. Good luck.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, but that's where the
big
good stuff is, right? We'll see.
it's a commitment if you go with it. I wouldn't watch it now. I think in high school I had a lot of spare time, so I could watch it. But I
Pretty much every anime is a commitment. What do you mean?
every anime. I mean, if you're watching like a 12 episode series, you can just drop it whenever. You don't have to commit too much to it. I've dropped so many shows this season.
You mean like slow burns? You have to commit to a bunch of slow burns?
There's like a lot of content you have to go through to like really enjoy it. It's more what I'm saying. So we just slow burn, I guess. Then.
Because what if it's like Monogatari is only like 15 episodes, so like I can just drop it whenever I want, right?
I mean, there's like multiple seasons, and to really get the Monogatari experience, you gotta go through all that. Well, are you actually, when I'm gonna get to that, there's like chronological order and there's like release order.
Oh, yeah.
We don't
want to get into that.
Yeah.
I personally watched it in release order. So it was funky.
All right. Okay, so I already talked about Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, how that surprised me.
I hated it. Well, I didn't hate it, but like I hate the dude.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Musume. That was a surprising one. I won't go into detail with that. Princess Connect Redive. That was very surprising. Because, like, mobile gacha anime adaptations are, like, usually never that good.
I think Princess Connect, the first season, I thought was, like, really, really mid.
Yeah.
It was just watered down kind of super. But so, like, when season 2 came out, I just wasn't going to watch it. But you told me it was good. And it was pretty hype, you know?
Why? Why was it hype? I don't fucking understand why it was hype.
It was pretty hype, dude. The fight scenes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Princess Connect was season 2 was another anime that I teared up at.
Really?
It was the,
Which scene?
You know when they were lost in the forest? And there was, like, a king, an undead king?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that part got me tearing up.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was a pretty emotional bit. I think the bit that I mainly remember was the golem fight. I just remember how like well choreographed it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like one camera would just be like in the middle or something. You see like everyone just dashing by. Then it would follow like a character. And then it would nicely transition to another character. Something like that. I thought it was like really cool. But that's the main thing I remember from it.
That was hype.
Yeah. The final bit probably not as hyped as I thought it'd be.
Yeah,
it was fine.
It was more emotional, but
yeah, it was
kind of
alright.
sucky as well. Like compared to the other scenes in that show, the final one was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, it was just Carol being like, "Oh, who do I want to side with?" It's like, please just choose already, please. I just want to continue.
I was surprisingly enjoyed the Demon Girl Next Door season 2.
But did you enjoy like a lot more than season 1?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than season 1.
Season 2. I just feel like season 2 was more of season 1. That's a bit surprising. Did it elaborate on a lot more?
It was more like plot heavy. Super Cub was super surprising to me as well.
Which one?
Super Cub is just about this girl who like lives by herself, suddenly like find happiness in life after buying a motorbike.
Okay, that sounds simple. Just sounds like you.
No, she went from a loner to like having friends.
Oh, because of a motorbike?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bocce the Rock, except the motorbike, huh?
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's one of my favorites. Yeah, I think that's it for my surprising shows.
Surprising.
That I want to talk about anyway. Okay, the anime that marked your downfall.
This
is the moment. This is the anime you've watched and you realized, I'm not normal.
Well, you see, I started with To Love Ru, so like I started at the bottom. So,
but you didn't watch To Love Ru and realize like I've hit rock bottom.
Yeah, I guess not. But like, I guess To Love Ru is like my norm for anime. So like, I guess you need something really heavy to. Okay, there is a show that's really heavy, and I've talked about it a lot in this show. Prismalia. All right, so believe it or not, when I first watched Prismalia, I was gonna drop it. I watched like one season. It was the first season was just mainly like it was just magical girl stuff. It's like, okay, look, to find the bad guy again, it's more fate. Season 2 introduced mana transfers. Now, if you don't know what a mana transfer is, it's basically
let's not get into it. I think it's fine not to get into it.
Okay, well, you can look it up in your own time if you're curious, but the first mana transfer that I saw, I like paused the screen. I looked out the window and I thought to myself, do I really want to do this? And then I was pretty close to closing the tab. So I was watching my iPad. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. And that marked that exact moment, that exact decision was what marked my downfall. You see, the moment I clicked play, I watched the entire season that night. And, you know, there were plenty more mana transfers. And, you know, my brain filtered it out. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. But, you know, I swear I don't like that kind of stuff. I swear. I'm normal, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you watched it too. Yeah. You can agree with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that exact moment, it changed my norms for the longest time. To the point where, like, if I saw something like that, I didn't care. And I think many years passed by. I didn't watch stuff like that, as Prismalia was like the peak. And yeah, we have here now. I watched Onimai recently, and I was like, this is weird. This is really strange. And now I'm back in it again because I'm apparently ignoring that stuff again. So, you know, yeah. There's 2 shows that mark my downfall. I'm back in the pit. How about you guys?
That's a tough question. I'm looking at the order that I've added stuff, and it's not helping me at all. It might be in my dropped list, actually.
You've never had a downfall, right? You've always been
No,
a saint.
there are animes that made me question why.
But you dropped them.
I did drop them.
You dropped them though. You've never had a downfall. You recognized your morals and like you've committed. You stayed true. You know. I've broken my morals many times.
I mean, one that comes to mind would be Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh yeah, you did say you watched that.
I watched like 6 episodes of it before I was like, nah, this is enough. And it wasn't even because it was like, oh, this is too much for me to handle. It was just, oh, I'm bored.
You're bored of it.
So maybe if I think about it, I didn't even like care that I was watching it. No. There has to be something here. Do you love your mum and her 2-hit multi-attacks?
You dropped it though, so I wouldn't say it's a downfall.
But it still did make me reconsider my life choices.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna do a closer look at my list.
I remember having a moment as a kid. Well, like I watched it was Love Live. That's the idol show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that in the living room. And like I was like, "But this is so cool." Then like my parent walked in, like, "Wait a minute, this is like kind of weird, isn't it?" It's just like a bunch of like young girls dancing on stage, and I was like, "Wait, why am I watching this?" And like I turned it off. So, yeah, that's a memory that just flashed back.
No, you let it get to you. You let others' opinions get to you.
It got to me, man. You're a saint.
No, I'm not a saint.
Did you ever feel funny when you saw like the whole school dancing on stage? Did that make you feel
not
funny?
Not really.
No?
Like, I knew what I was expecting. I expected it. I knew it was going to happen. So I wasn't too, what am I doing with my life or anything like that.
When I first saw that, I was like, this is stupid. I'm like, what am I doing? Then I got used to it.
It doesn't happen that much. And it happens like, what, 3 times the series.
Yeah. But it's a pretty goofy premise. The winner of the race has to sing and dance on stage.
You know what? I think my downfalls only happen when it's like I'm watching a romance anime and then I'm like, reality kicks in.
This will never be me. This will never happen.
Or maybe it'd be like Senko-san and I'm like, damn, I'll never have anybody who will care for me like that.
This is too real. It's getting too
or
real.
I could be just pulling shit out of my ass right now because I'm looking through this list and like I've got nothing that makes me question reality. I mean, maybe like the animes that like marked your downfall would be like similar to guilty pleasures. Because you're like, damn, I shouldn't be enjoying this, but I do enjoy
I feel
it.
like if it's like marked your downfall, it should be like it just completely changes you and your taste. There's something like I say like Prism earlier, it has twisted my taste. Well, like I'm not gonna say like taste as in like I do prefer it, but like I'm just gonna say that like I don't care about it as much. Like it doesn't bother me as much.
Anything like that for me? God.
I mean, got nothing. Out of manga.
Oh, maybe I've got something.
Wait, talk about manga real quick.
That's a good point.
Redo
my
over
manga
here.
list is
Redo over
like
here. I've heard so much about that, but I've just not.
my manga list is messed up.
I've never known.
Oh, but I don't update my list for manga.
Have you guys heard of this manga called Looking Up to Magical Girls?
Looking After Magical.
Looking Up to Magical Girls.
I think I've heard of it, but I never read it.
Okay. Surprisingly, Simon introduced this one to me, and the basic premise is that the main character looks up to like this trio of magical girls, who are like they fight crime, save the day, stuff like that. But she actually gets like corrupted, and she ends up as their main villain instead.
No.
So it's like the main villain looks up to like the heroes, and it's a thing where like she's really obsessed with tormenting them for some reason. I think she finds out she has like a sadistic streak, and there's like a lot of making out later on, and like there's a lot of bondage because like she just bondage stuff like that. And the later chapters, like I'm not sure why I kept reading this. I stopped now, but she's like spanking them all that, and you can see their body like parts. And I just remember sitting there one time, just reading. I'm like, why am I reading this? It's like, it's like the premise of a villain being the biggest fan of the heroes. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of like the ha-has here.
Sounds cool.
It sounds cool, but then again to that, then like the Prisma Ilya influence kicked in. Like my brain just filtered it all out. It's like, okay, cool. Like, she's like groping them. I cool. Let's keep going. It's fine. Let's keep going.
Normal day. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. And yeah, I think recently, like a few years ago, I was like, wait, why am I reading this? But yeah, that brought back a memory.
You got anything, Degen, today?
Well, other than Ilya, it would probably be like Monster Musume.
Monster. Well, actually, Monster Musume.
Yeah.
That's a good one to talk about.
I did read that, but not a lot.
Not a lot. But was there anything that drew you in?
I think a few things come to mind.
Yeah.
You know.
I actually kind of thought Monster Musume was boring when I watched it. I finished it though because I think Monster Musume was around the time when I was young. I was really into harems because I thought it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Monster Musume is one of those times where it was like, well, why am I not enjoying this as much? And I was growing out of it. So I guess Monster Musume marked my uprising. So that's weird to say, but yeah. Sure.
Your growth as a person.
Growth. I was like, okay, maybe I don't like harems anymore.
Onimai just brought it back.
Onimai brought it back. Okay, Onimai is not the harem bit, it's the...
something else.
Okay, I'm just gonna reiterate. I don't like the funny business. I just ignore it now. Yeah, I'm not a weird person, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Next prompt. Animes that you'd be ashamed to share or have hidden from everyone. And ashamed to share could also mean like recommend to a first time person. I don't know.
So like, are we assuming that I like the show still?
Yeah.
Have you heard of a show called Prismalia? Okay, well, we've had this conversation enough.
Barring the two obvious answers.
Prismalia and Onimai. Oh no, To Love Ru, I guess you talk about that.
Oh, you can also...
A show that I'd be too embarrassed to recommend to anyone. A lot of shows that I would recommend, that I like that aren't the shows you mentioned earlier. No. Is The Order of Rabbit. I don't remember much about the show, but I just remember kind of liking it. It was chill. If I told some random person in the street, like, to watch Is the Order of Rabbit, I wouldn't tell them that.
Yeah, because like for whatever reason, there's this negative connotation for Is the Order of Rabbit, because people talk about it online, and then I just thought like, wow, this must be like some fucked up shit, huh? But it turns out it's just
a slice of life. The girls in like a cafe.
That's it.
That's it. So
if you told somebody to watch Is the Order of Rabbit, they're gonna be like, they're just gonna stay away from you.
Someone call the police on me. Yeah, it's not a weird show. Or like, I don't remember it being weird. Did I watch it after Prismalia? No, I watched it before. So my brain wasn't filtering anything out. It was fine. It was a chill show.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it, so I can't say.
You should watch it.
No, I don't think I will. A show that I would be ashamed to share. I mean, as of right now, I don't feel like Senko would be weird. But if you think about it like deeply, it's like, wait a second, this is an office worker being like cared for by a little girl. That's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But like a first time thing at all.
Yeah.
Would I be able to recommend? No, I would be able to recommend Beastars. Proudly.
Yeah, Beastars is fine.
I tell them like, I don't care if you're like, I hate fairies, this shit's amazing. This is good. When's season 3? Please? It's announced, but where is it? I think DJ number 3 can fully, with full confidence, recommend someone Prismalia.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
He's a proud watcher of Prismalia, right?
Prison school though.
Prison School.
Oh, Prison School.
You would recommend them Prismalia, then follow it up with like Prison School, right?
Yeah. I would love anime.
So if you love Prismalia, you'd love in Prison School.
Well, not Prison School to like a complete newbie, but I feel like Prison School has a pretty big... Like, I feel like a lot of people have seen Prison School.
Yeah, a lot of anime fans have. I haven't, but I think Prison School has like kind of it's a meme, kind of, right?
It's over the top.
Is it what?
It's over the top.
Over the top. So I guess it doesn't take itself seriously. So maybe. Yeah, a lot of these shows that I like wouldn't recommend to people are just like cute girls doing cute things shows.
Yeah,
shows that I played switch my brain off.
A lot of people do not care about that shit.
So, you know, I guess it's your Yuris,
It's so hard though, because it's like you'll get some person that goes up to you, like you meet them for the first time or something, or like they ask you for a recommendation and you're like, I don't know what your watching habits are, so I'm afraid to like share certain information with you.
So it's like, oh, have you heard of a show called Demon Slayer? It's pretty good.
It's like the fuck, you watch a show about girls going camping, you fucking weirdo. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I just thought it was a really comfy show. I can't be showing stuff like. Have you heard this show about horse idol girls running races? They think I'll be fucking insane. Be like, okay, I'm just gonna go watch like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen.
I guess it'd be a thing of like, yeah, have you heard this show called Uma Musume? And they're like, yeah, it's pretty weird, right? You're like, yeah, you're right, it's pretty weird. You just agree with them. Yeah, just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the inside, you're like, you just got it. You're broken.
Yeah. Yeah, new game. Demon Next Door even. I probably wouldn't tell people about that. Keystar.
Alright, no, okay. How about anime, where you made it your entire personality for a period of your life?
Okay, I actually don't have an example for this one because when we talk about Bocce the Rock, it didn't make me act differently at all. I just did the same thing. So like, I mean, I know with you guys it influenced you a bit, but I remember I was exaggerating in the Bocce episode, but I was like, oh, it changed your worldview and stuff like that. It didn't do anything for that for me. I was just exaggerating. It was a fun show. I enjoyed it a lot, and you know, just move on in your life. I'm trying to think.
You didn't watch like how heavy are the dumbbells you lift and just start working out?
I mean, I remember playing the opening when I was like running a few times. That was pretty hype. But like, no, it didn't cause me to want to work out or anything.
Fuck, you just reminded me how like after watching Uma Musume, I like
started running when to run.
God damn it. And I did try to do some exercises after watching
Uma Musume? No,
dumbbell.
Dumbbells. I think with dumbbells, that was just a funny show to me. I think K-On! Made me want to learn the guitar a bit. Because when I was still playing music, I didn't have any hobbies. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll learn the guitar. So like, my dad knows I play guitar. So he buys an extra guitar, and he's like, his way of teaching is legit. All right, copy me. And he plays like a full solo. Like, yeah, I can do that. Sure. And like, I would copy it a bit, and this is stupid. I just give up. But I do remember being slightly better than average person in my class for the guitars. We were learning guitar music class. So yeah, I had that at least. I could kind of play like one song.
Better than the average person, because for most of them that was the first time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I had like a bit more experience. So I would play like House on the Rising Sun, like a really basic version of it, and people were like, "Wow, you can play more than just like Happy Birthday or something. Congrats!" And yeah, that was kind of cool. But yeah.
Well, those are little influences, but like, did you ever have a phase in your life?
A phase.
I feel like DJ number 3 would have had a phase in.
Yeah, definitely. Steins Gate, Mad Scientist phase.
Mad Scientist. Oh, we like a CHUNI boo.
Shit.
Yeah, I would like try and emulate the Holy Kilma guy.
Bro, there were phases in like there were certain days in high school where he just fucking wore his lab coat.
Oh yeah, the whole day. Yeah, that was sick.
Yo, for uni, I actually had to buy a lab coat, so maybe I'll bring it in for you.
Yeah.
I'll let you keep it. Is that it? Just like he's acting up like he's acting like a character?
Yeah. I knew lines.
Young Kilma, what do you mean?
Young Kilma, wow, dude.
Literally me for real.
For you. What you? I mean, I know you picked up the bass for a bit. It was a bit dodgy.
Yeah, but in terms of a phase,
A phase.
I feel like the worst thing I've ever done was like draw my Sword Art Online persona.
Okay.
Like what I did was like you know in the opening for Sword Art Online where Kirito is like sitting on the floor and it's raining against the wall.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I drew I drew like a fox dude in that same pose in the same coat, and then I posted it to my friends, and then they didn't say anything about it. So I was like, damn,
no.
this is the worst shit I've ever done in my life.
No.
Oh, dude. I'm trying to think of something to top it. Hold up. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, but that's pretty bad, huh?
How old were you?
Might have been like 11 or 12.
That kind of makes sense.
That's understandable then.
Understandable, I'm sure. I mean, I had a phase where I had imaginary monsters and I pretend to fight them when I was young, but that's kind of normal.
That's kind of normal.
That's kind of normal.
Kid,
so
yeah.
all right, hold up. I do remember watching Code Geass, and like when I talk to someone, pretend like I'm trying to manipulate them like subconsciously. I wouldn't make it obvious, but I'd be like, yeah, you should do this, and I picture my eyes with the thing. So maybe like, yeah, I got him to do that.
Yo, you went through a CHUNI phase? Holy shit.
Yeah, I had a bit of a CHUNI phase, you know? That was something.
I remember when I watched Mikaku City Actors, I had like 2 other friends that were also big fans of the show.
Mm.
And they would assign we would assign ourselves characters from the show. They're like, I'm this character and I'm this character. But it didn't really go anywhere much.
I think I remember doing something like that in high school. I know some girls I used to sit with. They give themselves like Teletubbies, which is normal. It's anime characters, I guess. So maybe
I'm Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky.
And you're Poe. I'm gonna be fucking Poe.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, but like character wise, I do have a memory of I was playing Killing Floor with like some friends, like some from primary school, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm this anime character. I'm Eren Yeager." They'd kill the monsters in Killing Floor. Like, well, I'm I think say some other protagonist like, I'm Naruto. I'm fast as lightning, you know. And I was sort of like, I was gonna say I'm Lelouch or something like that. Oh, I'm manipulating them because I thought Code Geass was the coolest thing, but I was too shy to say anything. I was like, yeah, I kill monsters as well. That's cool. But yeah, I do remember that.
There is one, what is it called? There was a time in high school where I was just sitting with my mate talking about Sword Art Online Gun Girl.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about Death Gun, and we were making like innuendos about Death Gun, like how Death Gun's sword was bigger than Kirito's. So then I screamed out like, "Yeah, but mine is bigger than yours!" And then behind me, the fucking PE teacher just walks by and gives me like the weirdest look ever. So yeah, I'll never die that down.
Or you'd be like, "Sir, someone Sword Art. It's my Sword Online."
No, I was just too embarrassed. Just started laughing. And to make it worse, like I spent the next 3 years with him because he was like in charge of my morning greetings classes, whatever.
Yeah. Well, actually, I remember this memory. This was actually year 12.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like, I was stretching my fingers, right, in class, and I didn't know what my fingers looked like. But I was actually doing this or something like that, and I was just like kind of like playing around with my fingers, and the teacher was just looking at me, and like my friends are like just looking at me funny. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm stretching my fingers." And then like after class, they'd be like, "Did you know that you were like kind of making a Naruto sign in front of your teacher, right?" And I was like, "No way!" It's like I saw him look at me funny. And I was like, "Why is he looking at me?" He looked away. He didn't say anything. So like, what's wrong? But I had no idea that I was making a Naruto sign with my fingers. But yeah, that was. I still have trouble living that down even to this day.
Oh, no. All right, let's try and get past reliving our cringiest moments. Let's see. What was the scariest anime you've watched?
Scary.
Okay. I've seen quite a few horror anime. One of them I actually borrowed from the library, so we can get back to that. Have you guys heard of a show called Shiki?
No.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically about like it's got like a village, kind of a rural town or something like that, like a little village, and it's a vampire story. So like you get bitten by what they call Shiki, then you turn into a vampire. So it'd be a thing where like slowly people would like act weirdly because like they'll be turned to Shiki like every night.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point when there's like half a good portion of the population's like vampires, and the other portion's like normal people. And everyone's like really skeptical. It's like, "You're a vampire, no, you're a vampire," and then like they would kill each other off, stuff like that, even though they're not vampires. So I remember there was one particular scene where like the daughter of a family was like a vampire, and she really wanted her mum to be a vampire too. She'd be like, "Oh, we can be together forever," right? So the mum's like really terrified because like there's a vampire invasion, and she sees the daughter. Because once you become a vampire, you're sort of like presumed dead. Because I think after you get bitten, like you die, right? And they bury you, and then you come back to life as a vampire. So the mum sees the daughter, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're a monster now. Just stay away from me." The daughter's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." So like she bites the mum, and then the mum doesn't become a vampire. So like the mum starts like dying and stuff like that, and just not fine. And then like the other vampires, like because they're like vampires, obviously need blood to survive. Like 4 others like crowd around the mum, and they keep biting the mum, and then the daughter's like, no, stop, but you're killing my mum. And then the mum just fades to ash. It's like, peace out. And like I thought that was terrifying because it was like a thing of like, oh, if I became a vampire and I want my family to like stay forever, what if that happened to me, you know? Like what if some other vampire took my family away, you know? It'd be kind of scary, you know? But I think that's one of the most scariest things in anime. Anime horror doesn't really scare me, to be honest. So hard to say with that. What about you guys?
Yeah, I have to say with horror, the only thing that really would get me is if it was unsettling and I'm like scared I'm gonna get jump scared.
I'm scared.
That's like only the maybe if there was an anime out there that like was really good with like making scenes feel unsettling,
Yeah.
then I'd say that. But like I'm looking at my anime list. I think I've only seen like 12 things that are considered horror, and I'd really only consider like 2 of these on the list horror. Like Miyako-chan.
Wait, which one's that?
The girl that could see ghosts and only she could see ghosts.
Very good show. Is that a recent show?
Yeah, it's about like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Ah, yeah. I think I remember that.
But I dropped that because I thought it was like too perverted.
Was it the ghost like pee-pee? Something?
There's just like a lot of shots of that. And
Funny business.
I guess the scariest thing I've ever seen was probably Dorohedoro, the lizard head dude.
I think I remember this. Was he a detective or something? Lizard head detective?
He might have been a detective, I'm not too sure, but like, it was the part where he accidentally rips a girl's face off.
Oh.
Well, maybe it's not scary, it's just like gore and I didn't want to see it.
Shocking.
So, I covered the screen so I wouldn't see her face.
I mean, fair enough, actually. Like a lot of, because it's all drawn, right? And it's in like that anime style, it doesn't hit as hard for me. Because like, when I watch like a real life horror movie, like even when I see like a surgery scene, I just look away. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, if it's like an anime surgery scene, it's like, oh, they're all just drawings, you know? And I've seen this before, like an anatomy diagram, so it just doesn't get me. Even if like there's a loud jump scare, it doesn't hit as hard.
I know with reading, I kind of can't understand how you could be scared.
Yeah.
With reading.
I mean,
I might have to like read a horror book to actually see if I get scared of it.
I mean, I remember trying to get into like Lovecraftian books after graduating high school, and number one, the language is too hard for me, so like I just couldn't get that. But I guess the idea with like Lovecraftian horror is that
it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. What are these words? I don't get it. No. It's basically something outside of like human comprehension. It's like, oh, you have the existence of you know when have you ever had a thing where like you think of the bottom of the ocean and like the fact that we don't know what's underneath there, or like
yeah,
that kind of thing? I'm like, does that scare you at all?
I'm just scared of the ocean in general.
You're scared of the ocean? Well, like just picture yourself like right this instant, you got like no clips, right to the bottom of the ocean, right? Like I mean, the pressure would probably kill you like immediately, but like let's just say you didn't die immediately. Oh. And it's like there's a unknown secret.
Lovecraftian horror is like it's surreal and you're not supposed to understand.
Yeah. It's the idea that something terrifying could exist and we just don't know about it. It never really got to me. Because like I listen to YouTube videos about it sometimes, and they talk about it like with such vigor. It's like there are these monsters on the universe. Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand it. I'm reading this book. How are you scared of a book, bro? Just close it.
Close the book. What are you doing?
Close the book,
bro. I guess the idea of a book is that like it causes you to think, and when you think about it, it's like, oh, it's the idea of it that's scary.
Yeah.
So
like you realize, wait a second, that's right. I don't know what's in the ocean. Could be anything that could kill me.
Yeah.
Now I'm scared. Yeah. Unsettled.
Is I guess when you talk about horror, you think about jump scares, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing that really scares me. I mean, like, I've Five Nights at Freddy's. I thought that was the scariest shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, I had trouble going down my house in the middle of the night to piss because I was scared Freddy Fazbear was gonna fucking maul me.
Just play the Living Tombstone song. Yeah, I guess with books, there's no jump scares. Oh, he died. Horror anime though, yeah, again the drawing thing didn't get me.
Degen, scariest thing?
I guess the closest thing that used to scare me was like Future Diary.
Future Diary.
The whole idea of like a yandere was new to me.
You're scared of yandere?
Yeah. And,
so, yeah, go for it.
Alright, so the yandere Yuno Gasai, she literally like time travels to kill her past self to replace her. And like, that's kind of crazy, bro.
So you think people around you will like kill?
Yeah, that's kind of like a weird thing to think about, right? Like,
yeah, that's like, pretty twisted.
They're not you, but they know you.
Wait, they know you. They're not the person you knew.
Yeah,
but like, they're them.
You know?
Like I remember having this kind of feeling with my parents one time. So I had a dream where once where like a part of my house unlocked, and there was like these dolls, like exactly like my parents. And I was like, wait a minute. Then who are they? I woke up the morning. I was like, are my parents really my parents? Hold up, let's speculate. And I was just watching them. like they seem like my parents, they act like my parents, they look like my parents. But yeah, anyways, this reminds me of that.
You weren't thinking of like doing anything drastic to find out, were you?
Yeah, of course not, right? I wouldn't like bug my parents' room or anything. Of course not. Gasai. I think when I was a kid, I thought it was kind of hot.
Damn, okay.
Okay.
It's like, yo, she's like really into this dude. She's like really likes him. So it didn't scare me very much. But the death game thing scared me. I was like, oh, people are dying, man. It's not cool. Are there any other horror shows you've watched?
Do you guys know School Days?
Is School Days considered
It's not a horror, but like
It's not a horror, but there's like a shocking thing in the ending.
Yeah, that got me, bro.
Horror.
Decapitation.
Yeah, I heard about the decapitation before, like even
bro.
seeing the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never watched it in the end. I know there was like a cute girls kind of show, like some club, but like they actually kill zombies or something.
School Life, isn't it?
Cool, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember thinking that like, oh, it's supposed to be a surprise horror or something. I never watched it in the end, but
it's good.
Is it good? You watched it?
Yeah.
Is it just like cute girls killing zombies?
It's a lot of like schizo coping mechanism.
Coping mechanisms. Oh, so
Like she's in her little own world. It's kind of
okay, that's kind of messed up then.
yeah.
There's coping by killing zombies. All right, well, I'm never watching.
You know, and that segues well into our next point: the weirdest, or most fucked up anime you've seen.
Oh,
okay. In terms of anime, I don't think I'd be able to tell you anything, but I can tell you stuff that I've heard happen. For example, in Fate, there is a girl who gets eaten by insects or something.
I don't remember seeing this, but like
it's not a scene, but it happened. It's implied.
Wait, she's like completely eaten, like gone.
No, not gone, but like
she's
it's
being
sexual.
eaten, but like it's to further her growth or some shit. I don't know.
I think I saw this on Fate Zero or something, but I didn't really understand it. But I was like, okay, that's fine.
Like she gets horny. That kind
She
of
gets
thing.
horny.
What?
Yeah, like the thing makes her horny.
Wait, so the thing makes her horny, or is she like horny because of the idea of bugs?
No, it's some like mana thing that like makes her horny.
It's mana
It's
transfer.
a mana
It's a mana
transfer.
transfer.
Yeah.
Oh
Why didn't
my
you just say
God.
so?
Weird.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like Fate.
Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds very much like Fate.
I guess that's a common occurrence in Fate now. Yeah.
Yeah, mana
Okay,
transfer.
sure, whatever.
I mean, Fate was originally on Eroge. So
that is true.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's okay. There was also the Doro Hetero face ripoff scene. This isn't related to anime at all, but there's like this pixelated GIF out there of a girl being flayed alive. What else is there? There was something else that I wanted to talk about. The Higurashi nail scene.
Oh, I remember that scene as a kid.
bro.
I've only really heard about it because I'm too scared to watch it myself.
Higurashi is actually not that scary.
It's just shock factor, isn't it?
It is shock factor, and
Gruesome.
I actually really liked Higurashi when I was watching as a kid. It was just a bunch of mysteries really, and like as you watch the series and like so after a character dies, they always reset something like that.
Yeah.
And the more time the character dies, you like start revealing more of the mystery. So I thought it was pretty sick, honestly. Right?
Other fucked up shit would be like Kaneki Ken getting the centipede in his ear.
Oh yeah.
The Bite of 87.
Part 87, of course.
Yeah.
Just going through. I look at Chainsaw Man. I don't really care. Oh, actually, the fucking vomit scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was-
actually, that was pretty messed up.
Let me see if I can find anything else. Something just like so out of pocket.
Just
Like it
weren't
just
expecting
like unexpected. Like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. A lot of stuff in Cyberpunk Edge Runners actually.
the mercenary.
The
What's his
most-
name again?
that motherfucker Adam Smasher. No, I guess the things I've named were the most messed up things I've seen.
messed up.
Oh, actually, the fucking Made in Abyss broken arm scene.
Oh yeah.
You know, I when that happened, I was like, oh, it's fine. I actually didn't really think it was that weird.
I didn't watch it. I fucking read it, and I still felt like super uncomfortable about it.
Wait, what happened again? Like, explain. Detail.
What was it?
They had to amputate her and just, like they're beating her arm with a rock.
Yeah, they were trying to amputate her. So then the robot kid grabbed a rock, tried doing that, didn't work, but they ended up keeping the arm on her anyway.
Like loosely hanging.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of shit in that fucking show makes me
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
I think the worst for me was just when just bleeding out of every orifice. like the nose, eyes,
Oh yeah.
all that. But for some reason that was the worst for me. Even not the arm bit. The arm bit didn't stick out to me.
You know what else was fucking bad for me? When they stick shit down the belly button.
What are you talking about?
Belly button?
You don't know it? There's like
Is this an anime? Oh wait,
I
only
think it was
watched
the movie.
Oh, I've only watched the first.
I have seen the movie.
Yeah, it might have been the movie, but there was like a scene where the robot dude gets captured and gets experimented on.
Oh, I remember this. Oh, I think it was second season.
Is this okay?
The girl, the claw, like
Oh,
into
please, no more. I'm done.
Anyways, I'm trying to think of mine messed up stuff. Oh, you remember that show where like the old man gets kidnapped and the robot, that kind of thing?
Gets kidnapped.
He gets like aliens pick him up, turn him into a cyborg.
Yeah, Inuyashiki last year.
Yeah, and Yashi. The boy who became a robot. I thought what really shocked me was when, he was on the screen, he was like bang, and everyone just died. That was really messed up to me. I don't know why that was messed up and not like the nail scene from like Higurashi or something, but like I think it just felt too real. It's like if that actually happened and like some dude was actually able to like just bang 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 kill everyone. Or even like the scene when he goes into like the person's house and he like the mom's like turning around, he's like, oh, the daughter's home, and just bang, mom dies. And then he just bang, he kills the dad, and the dad's like body goes on top of the child, and the child drowns because like the dad's body's just there suffocating him, and like he's under the water now.
I remember like Degen 3 seeing those scenes and laughing about it.
Laughing.
Me. Wait,
yeah,
what?
you were like, the fact that this guy just points finger guns and goes bang is like hilarious.
Not that specific scene though. That sounds. I don't remember that. Glad I don't. But Jesus.
Yeah, that I couldn't watch that, but I had to look away. That was too much for me personally.
Yeah. There were memes about it back in the day. Yeah, just like bang, like anime girls doing the bang thing, and they cut to like yeah.
I bet there were people like were like, oh, that's so cool.
And they made it their whole personality, so they walk around school going bang.
Bang, you're dead. Run away. No, it's too messed up for me. I could not. What other things were weird for me? I do remember this show. Like this girl was trying to like, she had a terrorist organization that was trying to spread porn. This society was like really conservative. I just thought the premise of that was weird, really weird. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Does she wear underwear?
Yeah, underwear on her face.
Oh yeah,
that one.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that was a fever dream watching that. I think that's the most messed up stuff I've seen. The analysis is really popping up unless you guys prompt me in any way.
Don't really.
You don't have anything on your mind. He's seen everything. Nothing phases him.
Yeah, I've seen School Days.
He's in School Days. He's in Prismalia.
Yeah.
He's in all sorts of stuff, man.
I probably just don't remember.
I do remember I had a phase when I was like really scared of zombies. I think out of every monster, like ghosts, demons, whatever, I always thought zombies were the scariest. Because like in an actual situation, like a real life scenario, I feel like that would mess me up the absolute most. So when I watched High School of the Dead way back when, and there was a scene where the zombies were first getting introduced. So like there's I think it's like a PE teacher outside, like a gate. And there's like it's a zombie, right? And he's acting weird. And the teacher's like, hey man, are you alright? And then he grabs him, bites him, turns into a zombie, stuff like that. And then like another teacher walks up. It's like, oh, you right? And then the PE teacher grabs her and just bites her.
That sounds super familiar.
That's probably like a well-known scene. But I just remember seeing that. I'd be like, it felt real to me, It's like, oh no, this is it's gonna be really messed up.
Yeah,
this could happen to me.
Could happen to me. Yeah, exactly. And then I saw the boobs, and I was like, oh, okay, it's one of these shows. Like that.
Wait, wasn't that High School of the Dead?
Yeah, High School of the Dead.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh right, that's it, huh? That's it, huh?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
I've got a few more, but I don't think they're that great to talk about.
Still throw it in.
And there's an anime that you die on a hill for.
Die on a hill for?
End it with your life.
I would die on a hill for
Only my.
Actually I would. I'm having an obsession.
That's recency bias. So we can't.
It
count
probably
that.
is recency bias. Maybe you can ask me that again in like a month or like when it finishes.
I don't think the animes I like need defending though. They're all just
They're pretty good.
They're all just good. No, what if I said Sun's kind of shit, huh?
Well, you're wrong.
But die on a hill for. So like, if someone called it bad, I would like fight them to the death.
Like, yeah, but also like it generally doesn't have great reviews. Like for me, I'd fight for Gun Girl Online alternative. I think it's like the best sort of online.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the best sort of
Finally,
online.
someone who gets me. My God.
I feel like, okay, sure. I'm sure like Kirito fans would be like screaming at you right now. They'd be like,
The
"How
fact
dare
that
you!"
you're a Kirito fan is on. Don't do this.
Yeah, Kirito fans exist.
Oh,
It's not too late.
so have you baited with Degen 4 who gave it a 5? Oh.
Oh. Yo,
Yeah,
drama in the
we
Degen
could
diplomacy
do-
office.
I'm docking his pay.
So, what pay?
Yeah, but I hands down think that alternative was good and it doesn't deserve. What's its score?
It's like a 70.
It's kind of like 60
60 something. Oh, that's actually surprising. I thought it was alright. Yeah.
Would you fight for eminence in the shadow?
You know what? I would. If you don't fight right now.
I'll ask you again in like a year or something.
Yeah, I'm probably like, nah, not really.
You'd be like, yeah, I only fought with you because I thought it was funny.
Kind of. I mean, I actually did kind of like it, but like, it was just funny to argue.
Oh wait, tell Degen 3 about the thing.
The thing?
So, did you know that Japan's got, Shimo Kitazawa for Bocce the Rock, right? You know what we have Flinders. You know what Flinders Street is the setting for? Eminence in the Shadow. So,
Wait.
whenever you walk down Flinders Street, know that you're paying, you're on an anime pilgrimage for Eminence in the Shadow. That's right.
Click on the
Flinders
link.
Streets.
Click on the link that I sent in the Discord.
Sid Kaguno has walked those streets, you know?
What? Damn.
I can't believe it. I remember Simon sent me the thing, and I was so shocked. So I was just looking at the post, like, no way. Because I watched the final episode, and it did feel familiar to me, but I was like, oh, it's probably like someplace in Europe or something. But never did I think that it would be here in our home city.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
I'm so pleased about that. Oh my god.
We have felt the presence of the Lord.
Yes. Whenever I walk by Flinders Street, I'll say a prayer. I'm atomic. Walk by.
Damn.
I couldn't believe that. That's funny. I'm sure you're really excited about that. You look ecstatic.
Yeah, if you
It's a good thing I like never stopped off at Flinders Street.
I guess that's good for you. I visit quite often. So
in the street meet up anyone?
Flinders Street meetup, yo.
You know what sucks? It's like if it was like if we followed Japan's what's it called, workings. I don't know. If we were like Japan, you'd know there'd be a fucking Sid Kagano cutout at the front of Flinders Street Station.
I mean, we can put one there.
You're gonna put one there? Yeah.
I mean, surprisingly, there was no bocce cut out in front of the Starry place or shelter.
They probably had it for
it's probably inside or
a
something.
while
Yeah,
or
probably.
some shit.
Maybe.
Yeah, it would make sense if it was inside or somebody would have stolen it.
Yeah, that's true. Man, there were so many people who took photos of the shelter place. I just a picture like a bunch of tourists going to Australia, and on their itinerary, it's just like, oh, the Melbourne Museum, the library, Flinders Street as a pilgrimage to Eminence in the Shadow. We love Eminence in the Shadow. So,
Well, to be fair,
that really
Flinders
pleases
Street
me.
is pretty famous.
It
But
is.
I just don't want to see Japanese tourists like just taking pictures of it, and they've got like a edgy pose or some shit. And I better not fucking hear anybody say, "I am atomic," or else I'm gonna go
It's like,
crazy.
they're taking photos. Say atomic! Atomic!
Nah,
and take a
nah,
photo
you
in
can't
front
do
of
this
it.
to me.
I love that.
Can't
Dude,
do this.
I really hope I see Japanese tourists doing like a Sid pose in front of Flinders Street.
On the day of like Crunchyroll festival, we gotta go check it out. We gotta check out Flinders
Yeah, we
Street
do.
to see if there are any cosplayers out there.
I'll be one of them. I'll be joining them, man.
All right, well, that's all the prompts that we're going through today.
Well-
See you next time, guys.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to
Like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe.
please.
Check in PC. He not regular.
Yo, guys.
Goodbye.
20 subscribers special.
Oh.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.